Let us look into the phenomena of RNA splicing. In eukaryotes, almost invariably the RNA transcribed from DNA undergoes RNA splicing to yield mature RNA sequences, that is rRNA, mRNA, tRNA. It involves removal of sequences mainly introns in split genes. When this splicing takes place in all cells without any variation, it is described as constitutive splicing in contrast to alternative splicing, which differs in space and time. The mechanisms for RNA splicing include: 1. Self splicing of fungal mitochondrial and other group 1 introns. 2. Self splicing of mitochondrial group 2 introns through Lerite formation without assistance from spliceosomes or any proteins. 3. Splicing of higher eukaryotic nuclear introns through the formation of spliceosomes at intron exon junctions. And 4. Splicing of yeast tRNA precursor molecules by cleavage due to endonuclease followed by fusion due to ligase. Self splicing of group 1 introns. Self splicing of RNA molecules involves group 1 introns found in rRNA genes of Physarum and tetrahymena nuclei in phage T4 and in fungal mitochondria. It takes place through two trans-esterification reactions, that is exchange of phosphate esters which leave the total number of phosphodiester bonds unchanged. Group 1 introns are characterized by: 1. The absence of conserved sequences at splicing junction, and by 2. the presence of short conserved consensus sequences internally. In the first trans-esterification, the 5 prime splice site is cleaved as G is added to the 5 prime end of intervening sequence to be cleaved. In the second trans-esterification step, the 3 prime splice site is cleaved as the exons are joined, as shown in this figure. The excised intervening sequence, that is IVS or intron, can form a circle by cyclization reaction, and these circles can again regenerate linear molecules due to autocatalysis. It means that excised IVS RNA and truncated versions of the IVS RNA also act as ribozymes to cleave, join or dephosphorylate RNA substrates. As indicated earlier, all group 1 introns have some short consensus sequences which allow intramolecular base pairing to generate a characteristic secondary structure within an intron. A characteristic feature of this secondary structure is the pairing between two ends of an intron with the help of an internal guide sequence IGS, as seen in this figure. Internal base pairing is facilitated by the presence of two pairs of elements, one P and Q, each 10 bases long, of which 6 to 7 bases are involved in pairing. 2. R and S elements, each 12 bases long, of which only 5 are involved in pairing, and this is shown in this figure. Any mutations in this consensus sequence have been shown to stop RNA self splicing, indicating the significance of consensus sequence in splicing. In the presence of group 1 introns, self splicing of RNA can be achieved even in bacterial cells. This has been shown by inserting a group 1 intron interrupting the coding sequence of beta galactosidase enzyme. When such an interrupted gene for beta galactosidase is inserted in E. coli, the latter was found to be capable of synthesizing functional beta galactosidase enzyme. This suggested that group 1 intron in the RNA transcribed within E. coli was capable of self splicing. However, introns with conserved splicing junctions found in higher eukaryotes need spliceosomes formed by snRNA molecules and therefore cannot be spliced out in bacterial cells. Splicing of group 2 introns. Mitochondrial group 2 introns resemble nuclear introns and are excised as lariat-like nuclear introns. They have consensus sequences at the splicing junctions GT and APY and a branch sequence resembling TACT-AAC box. The splicing reaction is autonomous, unlike that in the nuclear introns, where transacting snRNPs take part in the formation of spliceosomes. Splicing in these group 2 introns give rise to lariat directly, which then give rise to a linear form having no activity. This self-splicing reaction is an intermediate step between RNA mediated self-splicing in group 1 introns and protein dependent RNA splicing of nuclear introns, and this is very well depicted in the following figure. Self-splicing through formation of hammerhead. In case of viroids, that is naked infectious RNA molecules capable of replicating, and virusoids or satellite RNA, that is encapsulated with the plant viruses and incapable of replicating independently, a consensus sequence forms a hammerhead secondary structure as seen in this figure, which helps in self cleavage. Splicing of eukaryotic hnRNA through spliceosomes or SNRPosomes. The two features significant in the introns of eukaryotic nuclear genes are: 1. The two ends of an intron do not have complementary base sequence to allow formation of secondary structures, as has been shown for group 1 introns. 2. The exon intron junctions always have the same sequences, so that an intron in RNA transcript starts with GU, that is 5 prime, and ends in AG, that is 3 prime. This is sometimes described as GU-AG rule. Formation of spliceosome or SNRPosome. The splicing of nascent mRNA molecule is a complicated process. It requires the cooperation of several small RNAs and proteins that form a large complex called spliceosome. Splicing of intron sequences of eukaryotic hnRNA involves formation of spliceosome complex followed by excision of intron sequence through lariat formation. The major components of the splicing machinery are snRNPs consisting of RNAs and proteins. The snRNAs are designated as U1, U2, U4, U5 and U6, that is U-rich snRNAs. The role of snRNPs in splicing is the association with other essential protein factors and pre-mRNA. The snRNPs form a macromolecular complex known as spliceosome, the size of which is 40 to 60 nanometer. The left splicing junction GU is recognized by U1 snRNA and the right splicing junction is recognized by U5. U2 snRNA recognizes another consensus sequence called branch site present within the intron. Two other snRNAs, U4 and U6, are also involved in the formation of spliceosome, but the exact role is not known. The first step involves association of U2 snRNP followed by addition of U5 and U4 or U6 as a single complex. Formation of lariat during splicing. Nuclear splicing, where spliceosome is formed, involves formation of a structure known as lariat. This occurs in two stages. 1. A cut is made at the left end of the intron, releasing a separate RNA molecule with a left exon and a right RNA molecule with intron and the right exons. The two RNA molecules are held together due to components of spliceosome. The right intron exon molecule is not linear, but the left RNA molecule is linear. The 5' end of intron exon molecule gets linked by a 5' 2' bond to the A of the sequence CUG-AC is located, that is 30 bases upstream of the right end of the intron. This linkage generates a lariat. Second, cutting at the right splicing junction releases a free intron in lariat form, and the left exon is ligated to the right exon. The lariat is debranched to give a linear excised intron which is rapidly degraded.